Hello everybody, and welcome to a new series I'm starting on my channel. And in this series, I'm going to be looking at computers that are from manufacturers that you don't build yourself. However, I recommend building your own computer anyway. This is for people that really don't want to build themselves a computer and just want to buy one and have it arrive. So I'm looking at different PCs from different manufacturers to advise you if it's worth buying from that manufacturer. And to start off, I thought we'd start off with a well-known brand. It's a branch off of Dell known as Alienware. I'm going to be looking at their X51 R3 small form factor gaming computers today. And I'm going to be judging this out of 10, 0 through 10 as the final score. And I'll be looking at it from the person who has a lot of space to no space. So let's start. Their first PC is listed at $699.99. And it comes with a 6th gen Intel Core i3, Windows 10 Home, 8GB of memory, and a GTX 745. Now, this is kind of disturbing because the i3 won't be able to play a lot of the games because games are starting to lose support for dual core, like GTA 5 is an example. When it shipped with dual core support, then it was patched out. Windows 10 Home comes with a lot of bloatware, and not a lot of things support it, so that has to lose points again. 8GB of memory, that gets a pass. 8GB is pretty standard for gaming. Now the graphics card is a GTX 745. It completely fails the graphics card part. That will not be playing games at anywhere decent settings. The 750 Ti crushes that for $30 more. I don't know why they just didn't include that. I think because the GTX 745 has 4GB of DDR3, I think they wanted to be able to say 4GB in their advertising. So let's move on to the $1,000 one. 6th gen Intel Core i5, Windows 10 Home, 8GB of memory, and a Radeon R9 370. The i5 is better for gaming. That's a pretty good gaming CPU, so that's a good deal. Windows 10 Home, that loses points for the same reason the other ones did. 8GB of memory, that gets a complete pass, and the R9 370 with 4GB. The R9 370 is basically the 270 recycled because that's what AMD basically did with the 200 series. And that can play games at high to ultra at pretty good frame rates. So I think that gets a pass, but they definitely overpriced this. This would be more like a $600 or $700 computer. Now let's move on to the $1,250 computer. It has a i7 6700K, Windows 10 Home, 8GB of memory, and a GTX 960 with 2GB of GDDR5. The i7 is good for editing and hyperthreading. Not a lot of games use hyperthreading, so unfortunately that won't help too much there. Windows 10 Home loses points for the same reasons I mentioned before. 8GB of memory gets a complete pass, and they stepped it up to a GTX 960. I don't know why they didn't use the 4GB model of the 960, because that allows you to max out more games, because games use VRAM more when you max out the settings, but it does perform better than the 370. It just has a little less VRAM, which is okay. It's not the best. Now let's move on with their newest listing. It apparently comes with their special liquid cooling loop. It's an all-in-one. I'm guessing it's going to be something like the H80i in there. This has an Intel Core i5, Windows 10 Home, and 8GB of memory, and a GTX 960. This is basically their $1,000 one with a 960 and water cooling. Now, I think if you were to buy one, that would be your best bet, but it is extremely overpriced for that price point. It's more likely a $700-800 build. It could be $850 or $900 with the water cooling. So I will give them that. So out of 10, I would give the first one a 3 out of 10 because it's not having a lot of support and the graphics card is just not up to date. The second one, I would probably give a 5 out of 10, average. The next one, I would give a 7 out of 10, pretty decent. And the last one, I would say about a 6, because it's basically average with a liquid cooling loop, allowing you to overclock it for a little extra performance. And now let's look at the form factor. For people that have a lot of space, I highly don't recommend this, because it increases temps, and it'll limit your CPU power and GPU power because it'll throttle in the small case design they have. For the person who has a medium amount of space around their area, I still wouldn't recommend this because you can get a mid tower for the same thing. For the person that doesn't have a lot of space, you could build an ITX, but if you really didn't have the experience, you could get it from another manufacturer, or this is a good idea. If you have the money, however, this is about $500 overpriced. Some of the top tier ones, I mean the $600 one isn't obviously $500 overpriced. It's more like $200, $300 overpriced for the first one. The second one, I would say, is about $500 overpriced. Maybe $400 or $300. The third one is about $400, $500 overpriced. The last one is $500, $600 overpriced. So I would say that this gets an average pass. It's not the best. It's really overpriced. Thermals are going to be bad with everything except the liquid cooling loop. And I wouldn't recommend this unless you definitely have the money or you really need the space and don't feel like building your own computer and will not check any other manufacturer. I will be doing Ironside, Origin, and a couple more PC manufacturers coming up soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to go down and leave a like below. Subscribe for more content. PC builds can be found all over my channel. There will be one in the top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right, so you can click on those now if you are interested in that. And if you have anything to tell me about this manufacturer or any manufacturer you want me to do, please leave it down in the comments. And as always, this manufacturer will be in the description below if you are interested. Thank you for watching.